You just want to get home. Long hours, disgruntled patients or families, and bumper-to-bumper traffic has you yearning for your couch. Once home, you're met with all kinds of normal life tension, which is now somehow amplified. And where does that leave you? You're left to ruminate in stress, anxiety, and exhaustion. But these states of being open the door wide open. It lets in more harmful thoughts or toxic emotions. And this is a major contributor to burnout. What if I told you there's a simple yet powerful tool that can transform your life, both personally and professionally? It's called gratitude. It's an effective method to close that door of negativity, and it has surprising health benefits. It's gratitude for the win in overall well-being. Find the full transcript and more resources for physician moms at inspiredmommds.com/39. You're listening to Inspired Mom MDs with host Cindy Van Prague, helping physician moms take back control and prioritize what matters most so they thrive in private practice and at home. Hi there, and thank you for joining me today. Gratitude is the practice of acknowledging and appreciating the good things in our lives. It's also about shifting our focus from what we lack to what we have. Shifting focus away from toxic emotions and towards positive things may mitigate burnout. It's challenging to be both positive and negative at the same time, right? But constant bombardment from all these negative states, like outside stressors and internal angst, can lead me down a rabbit hole of thoughts. They shift my mindset to one that doesn't support my well-being, that's for sure. Sometimes it can cause me to focus on what I don't have or I don't get to experience like other people, and that can lead to resentment. And I don't mean resenting other people, but resenting the facts, the situation, the items that are not controllable. And that's not very productive of me, right? Thankfully, pun not intended, gratitude pulls me out of this rabbit hole. It closes the door to negative thoughts because there is only so much you can fit through a doorway, right? You control the doorway of your mind. Imagine moving day and the movers try to fit a big plushy sectional couch through the front door. This was my experience in the swampy dead heat of summer in Houston, Texas, with mosquitoes galore. So the front door was open all day. Mosquitoes made it to every crevice of my house, and then the couch was next. And all I wanted was to be done and close the door. I was hot and exhausted and itchy, but the couch wouldn't fit. Why the heck is our front door so small? And the back door even smaller? Anyway, they had to remove part of the door frame as the mosquitoes feasted on all of us. So now when I think of opening the door to negative thoughts and toxic emotions, I think of letting in mosquitoes and perhaps a large piece of furniture. The furniture, or my couch, represents the big issue of the day that I'm stressing about, whereas the mosquitoes are all those little nagging things that sneak in and they have a lasting impact, right? So how can I shift my mindset with gratitude? Here's one example. Returning home from a stressful day is now a relief. I learned to shift my focus from what I don't have, like enough time, energy, or that timely, witty comeback to that certain someone I could have come up with, to what I do have. I do have the health of my kids, a stable roof over my head, the amount of food we have in our pantry. Heck, I'm so grateful that we actually need a second refrigerator. This abundance is not lost on me, and I am grateful. My mental energy is focused on the positive now and not the negative day. I can start to close that front door with gratitude. And the bonus is also throwing some stuff out, like the garbage thoughts, the unnecessary feelings, the negative energy. So how does gratitude actually help? I hear all the time in quips and tips to just be thankful and practice daily gratitude. Okay, that sounds simple, but what motivates me to take the steps to do it? Well, my calendar tries to prompt me each day with to practice gratitude, and it has a little check boxes at the bottom, but that didn't get me to do anything. Also, the line between saying I'm thankful for this food or my house or my roof and it actually improving my overall well-being is a little fuzzy. It's not clear to me, or at least it wasn't until I learned the vast implications of gratitude practice. When I learned that motivated me to incorporate this practice into my life. And I want to share some of my aha moments about what being purposefully thankful can do to help alleviate stress or burnout and improve mental, physical, and spiritual well-being. After all, I'm a well-being advocate for physician moms, and I would love to talk about this topic. It's a tool for your resiliency and well-being toolbox. So gratitude practice does not take up a lot of time, yet it can have an impressive impact on, like I said, the physical, mental, and actually social health too. I came across a 72-page white paper from 2018. It was written by Summer Allen, she's a PhD, in my research on gratitude. She's out of UC Berkeley, the Greater Good Science Center. And 13 of those pages, in tiny, tiny print, in 2 columns, are references. I'm so impressed with the amount of research on this topic, and that was 6 years ago, this paper. It provided a great framework to talk about the benefits associated with gratitude, which is, again, the individual. It's also pro-social, the relationship, and there's also workplace benefits. If you want to deep dive into any of these topics, I'll list the link in my show notes, and you can go check out the paper. But for now, I'll briefly just go over the areas and then provide some ideas after that on how to start today with gratitude. So what are the individual benefits? As I've mentioned on other episodes, I'm one of those lifelong learners that gets excited about peeling back the layers of everyday topics, and gratitude is one. It seems self-explanatory. You be thankful for what you have, as in sitting around the Thanksgiving table, and you'll magically be this better person or happier or something not quite definable. And now in my middle life, I can finally define many of those things that being grateful does for you. First, it has amazing physical and psychological health benefits for the individual. So the physical benefits, just briefly, it can improve your heart health by leading to better heart rate variability. It can definitely enhance sleep quality, experiencing better sleep quality and duration. It can reduce inflammation, and it can just lead to healthier lifestyle choices like seeing your doctor or getting medical help when you need it or engaging in physical activity. So all of these individual factors and more also play off each other too, right? When you improve one area, like getting more exercise, that helps with improving sleep. And think of what improving sleep can do for you. And it just all kind of compounds together. Now, the psychological benefits will be increased happiness or life satisfaction. It can reduce stress and anxiety. It can enhance your self-esteem and your self-worth. And with all of this, you can imagine stronger relationships and connections. And finally, it can help with resilience. And I know physician moms are incredibly resilient, but this can be a little icing on the cake. So improving psychological health does play an important role in the physical health too, right? Again, improvement in just one area can have a dramatic impact on another area. Now, the practice of gratitude also affects pro-social behavior. It can motivate kindness. It can, for example, it can inspire people to be more generous or helpful and considerate towards others. It can enhance social connections where you're building stronger relationships with other people. And all of this, looking at the pro-social behavior, can improve workplace morale too. It can improve the place where you spend so many hours a day. Like I've mentioned a bit, gratitude helps relationships. They can grow stronger. You can strengthen bonds. You can enhance empathy and understanding and reduce conflict with other people. So these are all things that have evidence behind them. And I just briefly list all of these things that really, the topics are from that paper, but there's so much evidence to show that these things are true. Now, my practical ideas for busy doctor moms are the following. I mean, all these benefits sound great, right? But the final question is, how do you incorporate this gratitude practice in a very practical or easy to implement way? Busy physician moms can incorporate it into their daily lives, and your approach, of course, depends on your personality and your strengths. So here's some questions. Do you love writing? Gratitude journaling may be a logical start. I personally love writing to prompts, and I would do best with a prompt a day kind of plan. And that act of regularly sitting with what I'm grateful for and writing it out. If you're not crazy about writing, maybe just writing down 3 words and jotting it in your calendar or on your phone notes page or in a sticky note. Maybe that's your style. Or how about this? Do you already have a mindfulness or meditation practice? If yes to either of these, it's really just one more small step to choose gratitude as the topic of focus that day. For me, mindfulness is almost synonymous with gratitude. For example, I frequently stop and admire the beauty of nature, like the sunset or a flower or an intricate bug, and I am so grateful to be able to experience them. My senses, I have the sense of smell and sight and touch that allows me to experience these things that bring me joy, and that's just a moment of peace and gratitude. And with meditation, maybe it's just as simple as visualizing the things that you're grateful for. Okay, another question. Do you text a lot? This is probably a lot of people, right? But how about sending a gratitude text? Maybe try 1 or 2 this week as a goal. Send a quick text to someone you appreciate and say thank you for something they did. Real simple. Or you can go old school and send a card or a letter in the mail, or maybe just an email. You feel better, but so does that person on the receiving end. And finally, do you have a moment just before walking into a patient room? Hint, we all do. For as little as 3 seconds, pause, breathe, and say something you're grateful for before you walk into an exam room or pull back that curtain to the pre-op bay or ER bay. I find it a moment of clarity and a chance to shift my mindset. So by focusing on gratitude and positivity for just a few seconds, I'm leaving behind the baggage of the day, and it helps me be less distracted and a little more present for my patient. Sometimes I just smile to myself because I know when I walk into the room, I'll have a positive vibe of that lingering smile on my face just before I say hi and introduce myself. So all of these are just the tip of the iceberg. They're just some ideas of how to incorporate gratitude into your daily life without it being a chore. You can find your gratitude groove. The key to this practice is to find what works for you and to keep doing it. Seeing the effects of this practice can take time. While it can have an immediate and perhaps emotional response, it may take time for the lasting results that we listed earlier. It does change the brain, and that takes a little time. And that, interestingly, was seen in functional MRI studies. It's just amazing how neuroplastic the brain is. So give it a try with just a small effort daily for a few weeks or a few days and see what you think. And mix up the ways you try it until something clicks with you, whether it's writing or mindfulness or meditation or just a few seconds to pause each day. Insert that into something you already do. Insert those few moments. Like you're already a writer, just write something on gratitude. You already meditate, put in a gratitude meditation. Just insert it in something that you already have time for and you're already doing. Then take note of the benefits you see, whether they're physical, mental, or relationships with others. Just sit back and see what happens. I would love to hear how gratitude has helped you in the past or now with this challenge. Feel free to email me if you want at cindy@inspiredmommds.com. I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to join me next week for another dose of support and inspiration. Until then, take care of yourselves and take care of those who matter most. It's time to take control and thrive. Thank you for tuning in to Inspired Mom MDs. Please share with other physician moms and leave a review if you found value from this podcast.